Chapter 7, verse 1. Judge not that you be not judged. For with what judgment you judge, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured back to you. And why do you look at the speck in your brother's eye, but do not consider the plank in your own eye? Or how can you say to your brother, let me remove the speck from your eye, and look, a plank is in your own eye? Hypocrite, first remove the plank from your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. Do not give what is holy to the dogs, nor cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn and tear you in pieces. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it will be opened. Or what man is there among you who, if his son asks for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will he give him a serpent? If you then, being evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good things to those who ask him? The right way of reading this, 9, would be with a question mark here. Or what man is there among you who, if his son asks for bread, will give him a stone? Like that. That is the right way of reading that. Therefore, whatever you want men to do to you, do also to them, for this is the law and the prophets. Enter by the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and there are many who go in by it, because narrow is the gate and difficult is the way which leads to life, and there are few who find it. Let me stop here. If we have time, we're going to go through the rest of it. I think we can. So we're going to make a decision on that. But let me stop right there and let's talk about the first half of the chapter so we will understand it better. Okay. Let's go back and let's look at what we just left behind last week. We were in chapter 6 and we talked about don't worry. Set your mind right in the present tense. Don't be involved with future and don't be stuck in regrets of past. Be in the present tense. Find the secret place when you are there and you enter it with the prayer that I've taught you. This is a place where moth and rust will not destroy the treasure you gain there. And know how to remain there with the mindset of contentment, with the mindset of thankfulness, not worry. That's how you remain there. Don't bring any other gods there. You cannot have two masters in the secret place. The secret place is only for God. So don't try to bring your ego, who is the biggest idol, and money that serves the ego the most in the secret place. He continues, judge not that you be not, judge not that you be not judged. Judge not that you be not judged. For with what judgment you judge, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured back to you. Why did he suddenly went into judgment? After the previous talk, why did he suddenly twist it into don't judge? Because that's the first thing a person does when he finds the secret place. Once we feel that centering, once we feel the secret place and we are now in communion with our God, we should be humble. We should be thankful. We should consider ourselves blessed. Unfortunately, majority of the people, you will see that in the disciples, you will see that also in the disciples, and they need to be rebuked, that the person becomes judgmental. You know why? You know why you're like this? Because you're not spending time with God. You know why? All you need to do is you need to start being serious about your faith. See that? And Jesus is setting them right. And he's saying, by the way, once you find the secret place, once you have centered yourself in God, once you are feeling and experiencing the grace of God, just remember to keep your mouth closed. Don't be arrogant. You're going to ruin everything that is being built. Don't be a hypocrite. You still have a lot stuck in your eyes. You have a lot that you don't know. Just because you have this relationship with God, this relationship with Jesus, doesn't mean that now you are rabbi. Doesn't mean that you are now Pope Kyriakos I. Relax. You are not much different than other people. You're not much different. The first wave will drop you down. The first wind will knock you down. Relax. Don't judge. Because if you judge, you are writing the laws of the universe that you are creating. And those laws will come around and will judge you. If you are going to create a measure, this is the new inch. I want this to be the new inch, and I will judge people's height by this new inch. And you know what? You are short. Ha ha, you're short. And you are too tall. Ah, you're too tall. You're too short. And then these same laws will come and will go. And guess what? You're very, very short. You are short too. You are too tall too. You're an Eiffel Tower. The same words, the same attitude, the same will come back and will hit you. So don't. What did I just say? Are you guys getting deeper into this? Or are you just listening and you're listening like you usually listen and you're not getting into the depth of it? What did I just say? What did I just give you? I gave you a mindset. Now watch. How do I not judge? That's what you should be thinking. How do I not judge? How do I not judge? Don't judge. Don't say you're tall, you're short. Don't say that. How do I not see that? I have to be blind to it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I see it, but I'm not going to say it. That's judgment still. You see it, but you're not saying it. But you see something and you're judging it. That's short, but I'm not going to say it. That's tall, but I'm not going to say it. You judged. Just because you didn't say it doesn't mean that you didn't judge. You judged, but you didn't say it. Oh, he's an imbecile, but I'm not going to say it. Guess what? You said it. You said it. He heard it. Your father heard it. Your universe wrote it. Are you guys with me? Or am I losing you? You're with me, right? Watch. I see, and immediately I judge. What needs to change? My mind. Oof, it just got difficult. So when I see, I have to be at the point where I am not judging. Even though I'm not talking about it, I do not see short, tall, genius, dumb, sinner, saint. Whoa, it just got crazy. It just got crazy. So Jesus says, when you go in the secret place, that's one of the things you have to work on is to change your mind so you are not judging people anymore. So let me give you a secret of how to do that. The secret is this. If you tell your brain, don't do this, what will the brain do? It will do it. Okay, let me give you an example. I do not want you at this time, please, please, for the love of God, for the love that you have for me, for the love that you have for Domarina, for the love that you have for my household, my mother, for the love that you have for Assyrian biblical studies, please don't think of a green apple. What just happened? Thank you. Point made. The moment you say don't do this, what your brain is going to say? Okay, it's going to see it. So let me give you the failure of the first covenant. Here it is. Thou shalt not have any other gods but thou shalt not worship anything. Oops. Thou shalt, do you see that? The moment you say you should not do, the brain's going to think about doing it. The moment you say, blessed are you, the mind is going to say, my state. Why am I blessed? It goes inward. When it says don't do it, it's more outward, dealing with environment. When you go in and you say you're blessed, you're blessed, you're blessed, it goes inward. So, how do we change your mind? And this is important for people that deal with addiction, which is pretty much all of us. Don't say, don't judge. Don't tell your mind not to judge. But say this, look at everyone as images of God. Look at everyone around you like different images of the same Father in heaven. Now, a lot of things don't matter. Their intelligence, their size, what they've done, what they'll do starts to become foggy. They are, no matter how you look at them, truly containers of Imago Dei, the image of the Father. This is how you change your mind. And so he's saying when you go into the secret place, work on your mind. Be careful that you do not have a judgmental eye. Because when you have that judgmental eye, it's going to come back, it's going to bite you. Have an eye that does not see black and white, short or tall, smart, genius, or mentally challenged. And if you do see stuff like that you need to deal with because you're a teacher, because you're a doctor, because you are I don't know, a police officer, then you are looking at the image of God that's being challenged mentally, that you're looking at the image of God that is um, uh, 67 years old, that you're looking at an image of God that is 3 years old, and everyone, the expectation will be different for the reaction and behavior, but you're looking at children of God that are around you, some living the good life, some living the difficult path, the some are entering the narrow gate, some are entering the wide gate. Doesn't matter. As far as we are looking at them, they are children of God in different aspects of their spiritual journey. So it's much deeper than a lot of people read. These verses don't just mean, don't judge me. Don't judge me. Don't say that to me. That's not the depth of these words. It's much deeper than that. And why do you look at the speck in your brother's eye, but do not consider the plank in your own eye? Okay. Or how can you say to your brother, let me remove the speck from your eye, and look, a plank is in your own eye? Hypocrite, first remove the plank from your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. So what is he saying here? When you have found the secret place, do not judge other people. And remember, what about your eye? That it's also not clear yet, that you have issues too. And don't open your mouth like somebody arrogant, someone who thinks highly of himself, putting people down when you have issues that you have to deal with. Wow. He is telling us, Christians, that you're going to be dealing with this, and you will see this where people are in his ministry, in his disciples, finding the secret place, finding the center, communing with God, and then becoming worse than before. He's telling us this in this discourse. Do not give what is holy to the dogs. Do not give what is holy to the dogs, nor cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn and tear you in pieces. Probably one of the most difficult verses in the Bible. And I have actually looked at different interpretations of this many, many years ago, and you will be amazed of how theologians wrestle with this verse and try to make sense out of it. And you will see a whole array of different teachings on this. It's very un-Jesus-y to say these words because he's calling some people what? Swines and dogs. It doesn't sound like Jesus, right? But it is Jesus. Why is he calling some people dogs and swine? He's talking to people, right? He's not talking to, this is not about animals. This is about humans. Why is he calling some people pigs and dogs? That's not nice. I think he's judging people. Any ideas? Anybody wants to take a shot at this?
Are they people who are controlled by their animal soul?
People that are being controlled by their animal soul. And Kevin, why did he use these two animals, dogs and pigs?
because they're very low. I mean, pigs are unclean. I don't know much
And how
about
about
dogs.
dogs?
I'm guessing they're also unclean or
Absolutely, they're unclean. They are considered unclean animals. Absolutely. So he is talking to Jews. Well done, Kevin. And he's saying these people, he's not just saying they're dogs. He's not just saying they're a bunch of pigs. That's not the point. A Jew will understand it. He's being very Jewish here. He's saying, do not give your treasures to who? To spiritually unclean people. Okay, who's the one who is the keeper of treasure, who has found the treasure, has pearls, has gold. He is full of treasure now. Who's that person in this discourse? Exegete. Exegete, meaning you got to stay with the context. Don't go out, don't go somewhere else. He's not talking about pearls. He's not talking about treasures. He's not talking about dogs. He's not talking about pigs. Stay with the context. Dogs and pigs are people that are unclean, spiritually unclean. Who are the people that have treasure now? Those people that have found the secret place. And he's telling them, be careful, because, first of all, do not judge people. Two, do not see people at fault. And three, when you have gained all this knowledge and all these beautiful secrets and all these treasures from God, because now you are communing with him, don't just go out there and blah, say to other people, because, by the way, you guys tell me what happens when you guys hear these beautiful things from this class and you guys are so excited about Jesus and you've like, oh my God, I didn't know the prayer meant that. I didn't know that the book of Joshua had, I didn't know that Moses, oh my God, I got to tell the world. And you go and you are excited and you tell other people that don't even care. They don't even spend time with the Bible. They don't even go to church. Or maybe they go to church, but they just do it for, and you go to, and you're like, how about that? I heard it from my class, blah, 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 blah. What happens? How did that feel when you went and you told them about metanoia? Yeah, sucked. They looked at you like you're a weirdo. You've lost it. That's just the phase you're at, and that phase is gonna fade away. Maybe even put you down, right? Jesus is saying, when you have found the secret place, change your mind. Change the way you are relating and creating relationships with other people. Don't judge them. Look at them differently. Don't judge them. Don't look at their wrongs. Be careful of your mouth. Don't say anything. You have issues too. Keep your mouth closed. Walk your journey, walk your path alone, silent, in a humble way. And when you see people that are not even with the same faith or same understanding, spiritually not even concerned about the secret place or God, he's naming them unclean animals. Don't just pour out your words there to them. Do you know why Jesus died? And you know why they put thorns on? Because that is indicating that this thorn are the, and this means, and this is a foreshadowing of, and the person will look at you and will trample on you and on your treasures. I know I'm not talking to people here that have no idea what I'm talking about. I know you've done it. I know you've done it. And how did that feel? Like as if dogs and swines trampled your treasures. Thank you, Jesus. Jesus is a poet. He's a rapper. No, he's a poet. Any questions?
I have one question, just to make sure I understand correctly. So the part about removing the plank from your own eye. So you wouldn't judge someone until you remove the plank from your own eye, and then once the plank is completely removed from your eye, there would be no need for judgment, correct? So is my understanding correct? So there's basically never a time in which it would be okay to judge. Because initially I always read this as like make yourself work on yourself, and then once you get to like, the level of like an apostle or something, then those are the people that can judge. But I guess once you hit that spirituality, there would be no reason to judge. Is that
So,
correct?
so absolutely. So first of all, let's define judgment. So this is good that you're saying this. You're balancing it out. You are giving a little more detail and color to this teaching. So what is judgment here? It is important that we judge. In fact, in the Bible, we do hear statements like test the spirit, make sure that these people are worthy to be elders or the church workers. So Jesus is not just saying be blah. Okay, this is not telling people to turn off all judgment. This is more about and the context is about that, more about you seeing the spiritual faults of these people and you are judging it while you have spiritual faults. It is important that you relate to these people and you talk to these people as someone who has realized that you have faults too. And you are dealing with issues. And that language would be very different, much different than someone who is judging other people in a position of there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. So, for example, let's say I see somebody who's struggling with a issue in his life, and I see that he's struggling with the issue because there's something wrong with him, with his attitude. I can come to him and I say, "There's something wrong with you, man. Something's wrong with you." Or I can say, "Listen, I deal with this too. This is something that we all deal with, and you are having it as well. But you have to be careful because this is how I try to survive and not hurt people and change. And maybe you can work." That is a different um, way of engaging with this issue than a judgmental person that says, "You got an issue, not me." So it, there is a little bit of emptiness in these verses that we have to fill with just pure logic. You will see Jesus judging, saying, telling people, "You did this wrong. You are thinking wrong. You are doing it right." Well, of course, he can judge because he's God. But on the other hand, he is Son of Man. He's exemplifying how a Son of Man should be. So we do see that in Jesus, but he's never putting people down in a way that he's um, elevating himself above them in a wrongful way. He's saying it uh, in a way that is constructive, in a way that is loving, except when he gets to the dogs and pigs, and he unleashes wrath against them because they will never change. And he says that, though you guys will never, you guys are empty tombs. To these Pharisees and Sadducees, he just rips them because there's no hope for them. He knows they're not going to change. So us, we don't know that. The person can change. So we must exemplify, we must um, uh, emulate Jesus, and we have to uh, be very careful of how we are talking about other people's problems, faults, issues, not in a judgmental way, a belittling way, but in an engaging with them as brothers and sisters to help them, to lift them up. In fact, at the same time, maybe even confessing and exposing ourselves as well. Also, there's nothing wrong with that. So it's an attitude, it's a mindset he's teaching.
Okay. Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah, as a father, imagine, should you be should you not judge anyone? So your kids come in and they're like, Dad, can I play with this guy down the street? And you look and you see this guy and he has an AK-47 in his hand, and you're like, you know what? I can't judge. You never know why he has that. It's okay, because you know what? If I judge, I will be judged. Yes, son, go play. Right? Is this how you're gonna do it? I doubt it, right? The first thing
Right.
you're gonna do is no, in fact, get in the house and let's call the police, right? I mean, there's something wrong. All right. So
Not if
judgment,
you're in Texas.
it's a mindset he's talking about. Let's not be computer analysts when it comes to Jesus' words. It's poetry, it is prose, it is ancient scriptural teaching. It has to be understood with a lot of wisdom, and it must be meditated upon. We cannot just say, that's what he said. That's what he meant. That's the way this, you can't do that. You can't do this 1, 2, 3 with them. Okay?
Thanks, Manfred.
You bet. Thank you for asking that question.
I have a question, Manfred, regarding this judgment thing. I've heard a lot of people say that, oh, we cannot, like, for example, serve as a jury because we cannot make that judgment. And, we can say like this is guilty or not guilty or things like that. How does this work when it comes to that?
Honestly, I understand them, to be honest with you. And I think they have a point, especially as someone who has had a trial, and I've seen how the system works and how it could be misrepresenting things, and how the court can make a decision, and it does do that all the time. I think you have worked with courts too, right? And you've seen that happening all the time, where court makes a decision before defense walks in the court. I understand that, to be honest with you. I think sitting down, first of all, I believe there is no perfect justice system in any country. And I believe one of the worst justice systems on earth is the one in the United States. Even though many people say it's not perfect, but this is the best system. I disagree with that. I think one of the best systems is the one in Great Britain. And I would be very comfortable involving myself with the Great Britain system. In Great Britain, the two lawyers, one becomes a defense, the other prosecutor, and the prosecutor prosecutes, the defense defends, and then after the final argument, the lawyer that did the defense becomes the prosecutor, and the one who did the prosecution becomes a defense. And then he defends and he prosecutes. And then the jury makes a decision, or the judge makes the decision. Is that how beautiful it is? That's much more, to me, that's much more balanced, because it shows that the counsel has no position. They will fight for the truth. At one time, this guy wants to prosecute and the other one's defending, and then vice versa. Now I'm defending, he's prosecuting. it shows the truth with a blind justice being exposed. I'm fine with that as a Christian. But here, where if you prosecute, then your salary goes up. If you prosecute and win, your salary will go up. If you prosecute and win, they'll move you up in the corporate ladder of courts. Then, and that's why we have so much corruption in our courts. So much there's so much disaster, and you're involved. You've seen what DAs do and what defense does. So
Yeah.
it is absolutely corrupt. So I totally understand if somebody doesn't want to get involved because he sees that the judgment will be in error, and he doesn't want to judge. He doesn't want to put somebody behind bars for decades because he knows it might not be all the truth.
No,
It-
I understand. I'm not talking about the corruption of the system. And a lot of these people that I'm talking to about, I don't think their problem is the corruption. I think most of them are using the religious part of it. They're like, okay, I'm Christian. I cannot judge. I cannot be part of this, like, making a decision, you know.
So with that, and thank you for kind of clarifying that too. With that, no, because in the Bible, in Matthew chapter 19, clearly the Jesus does talk about creating a small court in the church and making judgments on people that have done wrong. So court making judgments on people that have done wrong is very important. If you want me just to remind you what that is, to remember, he says, if your brother does this to you, go talk to him. If he doesn't listen to you, bring two or more people involved. And if he doesn't, then bring the church and involve them. And see that? He's
Yeah.
creating a form of judgment in a society, in a group, in a community to deal with a wrongdoing.
Yeah, and they always use this verse to basically justify that, do not judge because,
No.
you will be judged.
No,
So,
and the point that I'm making is that no, you can absolutely judge someone if he's done something in the Christian community, in the church, and he has wronged someone. You can absolutely get involved and judge that action. But I also want to say that we have to be comfortable with the system. If the system, like imagine this, forget about the justice system. Let's talk about the church. If the church has created a little community, or I should say a committee, and the committee is, you can see that is not fair. Should I involve myself with that judgment? No, I shouldn't, because it's wrong, it's corrupt. It is not going to come up with the right answer, and I will not work with that because it is a wrong system. So same thing with the courts and high courts, same thing with community or church courts or church committees. You have to be comfortable with the system. If there is comfort, if you see that it is being done the proper way, Jesus actually is creating with his words a system to judge, to apprehend a member of a church if he is not willing to accept the truth.
thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, do we judge? Yes, we do judge. But the language, again, keep exegete. The language of chapter 7 is not about fighting, stealing, whatever. It's about don't judge other people. Don't judge them for what they are, their faith, their belief, their mental state. Don't judge them because you have just found the secret place. And you have to be very careful of that. And if you do want to do that, remember you have faults. So don't judge them in a way that it is putting them down and making you a higher spiritual person, which you're not. And on the other hand, don't get too excited about what you found and go out there and saying it to people that don't deserve to hear it because they're unclean and they don't understand it. Give it to people that understand the secret of the kingdom, that understand the secret place, that understand your faith, so they will celebrate with you, not trample what you have gained. It is not an easy chapter. These please, I hope that you guys will go back on these and you will re-listen to these videos because it is a very deep teaching and majority of the teachers do not teach it in this depth. Ask and it will be given to you. What? What? What is he talking about? Anything? Because that's how they use it. Ask and it will be. Heavenly Father, you have said, ask and it will be given to you. And so here I stand and I'm asking for the 5 numbers for this week's lottery.
The mindset that doesn't judge.
What was that?
It's the mindset that doesn't judge. Like it gets you
It's that mindset. Where do you get that mindset?
from
Where do you
God,
find it?
secret place.
Where?
From God in the secret place.
Secret place. Ask for what?
Secret place.
Search for what?
The mind of God in the secret place.
Secret place. So listen, ask
Okay.
for the secret place. To find the secret place, you have to search for it, right?
Mhm.
Search. And you will find it. And once you found it, what are you going to see? You're going to see a door, right? You have asked, you have searched, and now you see the door of the secret place. What do you do then?
You go inside.
How? What's the first thing you got to do?
Knock.
Do you see the logic he's using? He's talking about the secret place. He's not talking about, thank you, Rona. He's not talking about anything. This is a very tight teaching. This is not about, and it is being used. And if you ask for health, God will give you health. Okay. God, I want to, and this is honestly the truth. I want to lose about 10 pounds. I really do. Jesus, please, 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 please. I'm so fed up. Keto diet is not working. Running is not working. Weightlifting is not working. Only you. This is like walking on water, Jesus. Help me. I don't care if I drown. I know you will pick me up. Maybe not 10 pounds, maybe 5 pounds. Anything. What will God say? Ask and you will receive. Seek and you, no. Gibberish. And there are people out there that are teaching this, that this is, just ask and this is a spiritual law. If you ask, if you seek, if you knock, it will come to you. No, that's not it. It's not a spiritual law. This is about the secret place. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find it. When you see the door, knock and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it will be open. It's the secret place. That's why he says everyone who asks, everyone who asks. Do you see it? Everyone who asks will find the secret place. There is no discrimination. If you really want it, he will open it to you. Or what man is there among you who, if his son asks for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will he give him a serpent? If you then, being evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good things to those who ask him, which are these pearls, treasures of the secret place. Therefore, whatever you want men to do to you, do also to them, for this is the law and the prophets. What? Why did we just suddenly jump? And okay, by the way, just look at and I'm using Logos. I'm using Logos software. Look at how they have organized it, how they're cutting these teachings with these gibberish titles, so they will not have continuity, because nobody sees continuity in this. They don't teach it that way. This is one teaching, this is another teaching, and suddenly there's a golden rule. And in order for them to say that these are all cut off teachings, they have done these titles. This is all about the secret place, the mind of the secret place. This should have one title. I hope you see how publishing companies are doing injustice to readers of the Bible and creating more confusion. Therefore, whatever you want men to do to you, do also to them, for this is the law and the prophets. Why did he say that? Do unto others as you want them do to you. Why is that important? Why does he say that over there? Because this is a mindset. If you really go into it, he's basically saying, you that want to judge, you that see people with issues and problems, and you see specks and dust in their eyes. You who are so excited that you want to go and tell people that don't even understand what you're talking about, the pearls and treasures of the secret. Wait. Here is a mindset. How do you want to be respected? How do you want to be seen? When you make a mistake, when you sin, when you fall, how do you want people to come and talk to you? Now do the same thing to others. It's still about finding the secret place. It's still about entering the secret place. It's a mindset. If you don't want to judge, if you don't want to belittle people, if you don't want to be making these mistakes, think of it this way. How does it feel? Be them and treat them like they are you. Enter by the narrow gate. I know that's difficult. I know a lot of people will not do this. Jesus is saying this is not going to be easy. This is not the way the system will teach you. For wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and there are many who go in by it. Many people will not live this kind of mind, because narrow is the gate and difficult is the way which leads to life. You need to change your mind. You need to change the way you see and relate to other people. And there are few who find it, and many who don't have the energy or motivation to change their mind or want to live this life. Questions?
Manfred, can you go over 9, 10, and 11 like in a different way?
So I can do that in Assyrian language. You want me to do it that way?
Sure.
It's a different way. 9, 10, 11. Or what man is there among you who, if his son asks for bread, will give him a stone? If you people are evil, and you remember what evil means. You remember what evil is. Evil means warped. You people that cannot see, cannot judge, cannot understand, analyze your environment because your mind is warped. And when you want to hit a target, you miss because you are sinners. You that are warped, that your corneas of your eyes don't see right, and your lenses have cataract. If you do good to your children, how much more God, who sees right, has right cornea and lens in his eyes, how much more will he love you? If you do love and give, just imagine how much more he wants to love and give to his children. So basically what he's saying is that if you ask for the secret place, it's coming. If you ask to find the secret place, to search for it, he's going to take you there. Guaranteed. If you knock, no way the door's not going to open. It is a joy for him to do that. Therefore, whatever you want men to do to you, do also to them, for this is the law and the prophets. So keep the right mind. Because if you are in the warped evil mind, you will not continue in this journey. You will not do what God wants you to do. You will not even ask. But keep the right mind. When you are in the secret place and you are loving God, being loved by God, being bathed by his spirit, and you're enjoying his grace, don't be arrogant. Don't sabotage yourself. Love others. Be kind to others. Don't judge others. Do not put them down. Don't look at people's faults. Help them, lift them, as if the way you would want somebody to help you, help the others. And God will hear your prayer, your knocking, your searching, and he's gonna take you there and he's gonna open the door for you. So your mind is everything. The path is in your mind. You have to journey the right way. How many of you guys have started your secret place practice? How many of you guys are now finding that time to quiet your mind, be in the present tense, not to worry about the future, what to wear, what to eat, not to regret past what has happened, not to look at other people and their faults, but to pray the prayer of Jesus, to find that forgive my debts as I have forgotten and forgiven all other people's debts. How many of you are working on that mind? And you are forgiving, forgiving, forgiving. And the worse the people have done to you, the more respect you have from Jesus, by the way. If somebody, look, I'm forgiving him because he took my $10. And I told him that's mine, but he took it. If that's your forgiveness, you're gonna get $10 back. But if your forgiveness is because when you were young, someone broke your mind, somehow crushed you, when you had no mouth, tongue, personality to stand up against, as a weak individual, you were crushed for no good reason. When you turn to God and say, forgive, I see nothing. Please don't see anything. That's more meaningful. Are you guys working on that? Are you guys finding that secret place where it's only you and the audience of one, and keeping it to yourself, not sharing anything with your wife, with your husband, with your friends? Just yourself, you and Jesus. Are you working on that? Are you finding it? Well, if you are, don't say anything because you're not supposed to. Keep on working on it. Keep on finding it. Maybe one day it will be 1 minute. Maybe one day it'll be 2 minutes. Maybe one day it'll be an hour. It doesn't matter. But the moment you are entering that state of silence, of meditative thinking on God's presence, and you are elevating your mind into thankfulness, gratefulness, thank you, And even above that, wonder. Wonder of God's beauty. Thankful for your state. Wonder for his glory. And you are releasing your ties with other people. All of these words will make so much sense. And always end your secret place prayer with this. Heavenly Father, I'm asking, I'm searching, and I'm knocking. Show me more. Take me more inside the secret place. Always pray that. And ask, seek, and knock. And you will be guaranteed, 100% guaranteed with the signature of Jesus on it. He will take you inside the core of the secret place and will reveal his deep secrets to you. You do not need to have a degree in seminary. You do not need to read theologians' books, but treasures, pearls will come out of your mouth to the point where people will ask you, where did you learn these? Do you have a degree? Divinity degree? People will be amazed. And when you say, nah, they'll say, wow, why is it that how does he look? Just go deeper and deeper and deeper. Questions? Final questions. Then let's do our final prayer and thank God for this beautiful hour we had and these beautiful scriptures we studied together. Dear Heavenly Father, we are thankful, we are amazed, we are humbled by the love that you pour on us, by the depth of your scriptures that you are revealing to us. Truly, you are the spirit of the revelation. Truly, you are the essence of God revealed to man. Truly, you are the Logos in flesh. And we humbly ask that you may lead us into your presence. Open the door of the secret place to every one of us and allow us to meet you, love you, bathe in your spirit, and breathe your mind within us so that we may become more and more like you. Speak, think, dream, have visions as you did. We pray these in your heavenly name. Amen. Have a fantastic evening and a wonderful night. Good dreams until I see you guys next week.
Thank you, Manfred.
You bet.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night.